Welcome to this training module on behaviour change interventions and their contexts within the behaviour change intervention ontology, presented by myself, Susan Mickey, but also prepared with my colleague, Mary Johnston. The topics we're going to cover today are the parts of the BCIO relevant to describing an intervention, the scope of the BCTO, that is the behaviour change technique ontology, and how the BCT ontology differs from a taxonomy. Here is the triangle version of the behaviour change intervention ontology. And what I want you to focus on here is the intervention that is circled in red on the bottom left-hand side, which is made up of content, delivery and tailoring, and also the context above it on the right-hand side, which is made up of population and setting and events. So here we have the behaviour change intervention represented ontologically, and in the red circles we have the behaviour change intervention content, which is made up of behaviour change techniques, but also the dose of those techniques. And here in the red circles are the delivery of the behaviour change intervention. So that is its source, its mode of delivery, its style of delivery, and its schedule of delivery. And also here at the top in the red circle is the tailoring, and both the content and the delivery can be tailored, hence its attachment to the intervention itself. And finally, we have the context. So we have the context, which is the population and the setting, both the social and the physical setting. And then we also have the temporal aspect of context, which includes events. So now I want to focus on the behaviour change techniques part of the ontology. This is the definition of a behaviour change technique, an ontological definition. A planned process that is the smallest part of behaviour change intervention content that is observable, replicable, and on its own has the potential to bring about behaviour change. So the structure of the behaviour change technique ontology is 281 behaviour change techniques. Those of you familiar with BCT TV1, the taxonomy, will remember it's got 93, so many more. And they're organised into 20 higher level groups over 5 hierarchical levels. So much more complex than the simple taxonomic structure we had before. So we've added many new behaviour change techniques, and some have been separated into more than one. For those of you who are interested, we have a mapping of the 93 behaviour change techniques from the taxonomy to the 281 of the ontology, and the link is here. So here's a diagram, and you'll see that some of it has been blown up on the right hand side. So we have advise specific behaviour change technique, and on the level below are various others, practicing, context specific non-enactment of behaviour, which is rather specific one. And then you'll see there's a third level down here, which is various aspects of social support, which I'll show you in more detail in the next slide. But what I want you to see here is just the overall structure. And so this little bit of the advised specific behaviour PCT and its child classes are actually in the little blue box on the main diagram. And you can see that it has a parent class above it and many other classes that can be found. And you'll see other training programs that modules that will show you how to find these entities in this ontology. So I'm going to give you the example of a social support behaviour change technique, and the definition is one that involves advising, securing or delivering the support or aid of another person. Now, in the old taxonomy, we have just 3 items for social support: non-specific, practical and emotional. But when we looked at the literature and we've done expert consensus and consultation, we found many more and a greater degree of complexity. So this is what we've ended up with. So we have advised to seek support, arrange support and deliver support. And within each of these, the child classes cover instrumental, emotional, informational and appraisal support. I just want to say something about the advantages of having an ontological structure rather than our previous taxonomic structure. So first of all, it's very logical. The definitions are unambiguous, so much improved. It's what's called interoperable. And because every single entity has its own unique ID, it means it can be linked up with other ontologies. And so it can go across disciplines and across a particular topic area to be able to link with other ontologies. Because it's got its own ID, it's computer readable. So this means that large complex data sets, including behaviour change techniques, can be analysed by computation rather than humans. And importantly, it's not static. It can easily be revised and maintained. And there will be a module in due course about how to do this. So after this training, you should be able to list the entities used to describe an intervention and its context, describe the scope of the BCTO, and list advantages of the BCTO over the BCT taxonomy V1. So I talked about finding BCIO terms to describe interventions in their context, and you may like to revisit the previous module to remind yourself of this. And also, the next module will be how to describe behaviour change interventions and their context using the BCIO. Thank you.